We're alive! Woohoo! This is Math 60, Intermediate Algebra, Chapter 5.4, Multiplying Polynomials, numero uno. There we go. And we are following up on the chapter on the section on polynomials with we added, we subtracted, and now we're going to multiply. Woohoo! So we're going to go according to the size of the polynomial in terms of how many terms it has. So the first kind of multiplication we're going to do is multiplication of monomials, so the ones that just have a single term. These are usually, although there's a lot of stuff going on here, usually they are the least complicated and possibly the easiest ones to do. So let's go ahead and try. I have negative 8x cubed y squared t times the quantity negative 2xy cubed t. And the great thing about multiplication, if it's all multiplication, and I know that looks like a subtraction, but that's actually a negative 2, not a subtraction. And so what you're going to do is just multiply, so you can write out the factors in any order you like. So I could choose negative 8 times negative 2 times x cubed times x times y squared times y cubed times t times t. So take a good look at that. See if you see where that's from while I play with the lighting a little bit there. That should be a little bit easier on the eyes. So basically, I took the two matching constants, the two x's, the two y's, and the two t's. Each of those factors got taken separately. Oh, it's having trouble with my fingers. It doesn't know what to do. Okay, well, we'll see if we can fix that. If I multiply negative 8 times negative 2, positive 16. X cubed times x, that's 3 x's multiplied together times another x. Altogether, it's 4 x's. Y squared times y cubed, remember 2 bases, 2 exponents, you add, so that'll be y to the what? You're right, y to the 5th. And 2 t's multiplied, that's t squared. Bam. Okay, next up, it really is that straightforward and simple. Let me see if I can talk it into not panicking about the exposure by bringing in my spider. Hello, this is Happy Exposure Spider. Okay, next up, multiplication of a monomial, a single term, and a binomial, 2 terms. Now, this is something you've already been working on quite a lot. We were calling it the distributive property to begin with. So this is just the distributive property. Let's see if I can, I'm going to wiggle that a little bit, see if that helps. So what I'm going to do is rewrite it here, 3a squared b times a squared minus b squared. Now, here's the thing. This whole bunch right here, this 3a squared b, is all going to go visiting together. So the whole thing goes visiting times a squared, the whole thing goes visiting times b squared. So it looks like this. Let me move the spider over here. He's still very happy about the math. 3a squared b times a squared minus 3a squared b times b squared. Here I've got a total of 4 a's, a squared times a squared, so I've got 3a to the 4th b minus, and here I've got the b's combined, 1b plus another couple b's, b cubed. Now, for those of you who want to start thinking ahead, yes, the very next section, we're going to have to go backwards. So we're going to start with this and end up with this. So while you're doing the multiplication, definitely be thinking, how would I go backwards? How would I recognize what was the same, what had gone visiting in both cases? This is worth thinking about. If that just panics you, pretend I said nothing. Everything is fine. Look at the happy, happy spider. Oh, it's so happy. Math is so great. Okay, so first off, we're going to multiply without the F word. I will be teaching you the F word soon. If you already know the F word, that's awesome. But we're going to practice multiplying without the F word. And basically, this is two binomials. So a binomial times a binomial. Now, what gets hard about this is there are so many moving parts. There are two terms here and two terms here. So two terms, wait, there's the times two terms. 2 times 2 is 4 terms. So this is quite a lot to go on. So what I'm going to recommend is let's split up the first polynomial. So I'm going to split up the x and the 1. So it kind of looks like the distributive property again. Here's the x minus 2. And again, remember, smearing scares bad guys. So don't be afraid of smearing. It's good. It wards off evil. So I'm going to take the x through the x minus 2, and then I'm going to take the 1 through the x minus 2, and I'm going to do them separately. And then each one of these, I mean, there are so many arrows. Those of you who have been like, yeah, I really like arrows, but I wish we could use more arrows. This is your section. Seriously, your time has come. So I've got x squared minus 2x, distributive property right there, plus 1 times x minus 1 times 2. The 1 goes through. So let's see, that's x squared minus 2x plus x minus 2. And then, of course, the two terms in the middle can be combined. So let's go ahead and do it. Minus 2x plus 1x is minus x minus 2. So our final answer is x squared minus x minus 2. Woohoo! That was hard enough. I'm putting a box around it. I don't know about you guys. Boxes are, a sign that we have done something that took some work. Shall we try that again? It's always true. Math teachers are always certain that the one thing that will make everything better is more math. So again, I'm going to choose to split up the first binomial. Here's the thing. It doesn't matter. As long as you're consistent, you could split up the first one or the second one. Totally up to you. I'm going to split up the first one. So the y cubed is going to come here times its whole 2y squared plus 4. And the minus 5 is going to come right there with its own 2y squared plus 4. So first term splits up, second term, I'm blowing a little bit. Everything is possible with the yellow highlighter. 2y squared plus 4, 2y squared plus 4, 2y squared plus 4. What I did was I split up the first, I shouldn't have said the first term, the first binomial, sorry. The first binomial gets split up into 2 pieces. Sorry about that. I got excited and started using the wrong technology. You know how math gets exciting. Okay, now I'm going to take y cubed, distribute it through. So it's y cubed times 2y squared plus y cubed times 4 minus 5 times 2y squared. This is the negative 5 going through, minus 5 times 4. And then I'm going to simplify it. Now, if you're able to go from this step to this last step, awesome. I don't trust my brain enough. I have to write down the intermediate steps, so I've got something to check. So this is 2y. Let's see, there's 3 of them there, 2 of them there. 2y to the 5th plus 4y cubed minus 10y squared minus 20. And we lucked out. There are no like terms. So that's it. This is the final answer here. And remember, I talked about it. If you take a binomial, 2 terms, times another binomial, 2 terms, you end up with 4 terms. 1, 2, 3, 4. Aha! Okay, how long? We've got, it's about just under 10 minutes. I'm going to throw caution to the wind and continue. So here we go with 5.4, page 2. I know, it's very exciting. We're going for longer polynomials. This is a binomial times a trinomial. So let's see if we can do the multiplication here. If I've got 2 terms and I multiply it by 3 terms, altogether I'm going to get 6 terms in my answer. So let's be really, really careful, okay? I'm going to take the first term, sorry, I did it again. Oh my gosh, bad habit. I'm going to take the first polynomial and split it into 2 pieces. So the p comes over here. And I get the whole second polynomial. And then the 2. And the whole second polynomial. And some people are like, why do we have to do this? And the answer is because it's too hard to do if we don't do this. We got to take things one step at a time. Trying to smash this whole p plus 2 in through there, that's not going to work. Okay, distributive property. This p goes visiting, so I get p times p to the 4th minus p times 2p cubed plus p times 3. Okay, now the 2 goes distributing through, plus 2 times p to the 4th minus 2 times 2p cubed plus 2 times 3. Remember that my style is always that whatever the sign is, I lead with the sign and then I write out the factors. I think this is p to the 5th. Oh my gosh, I will double check. This is p times, so this is minus 2p to the 4th. Plus 3p, and then plus 2p to the 4th, minus 4p cubed plus 6. Oh man, there's a lot of everything going on in here. So what are we going to do? Well, what we're going to do is we're going to take a look, and I'm going to see, yippee! Minus 2p to the 4th plus 2p to the 4th will cancel each other out. They will act as if they weren't even there. I'm also going to try to write this in descending order. So I start with p to the 5th. My p to the 4th is canceled. My p cubed is right there. Minus 4p cubed. Any p squared? No p squared. There's a plus 3p plus 6. Bam. I think that's it. If I got it wrong, please send, angry letters to the White House. Definitely. Yeah, they'll get right on that, I'm sure. Okay. Done. Oh, you know what I forgot to do before? I'm trying to put off going on to the really scary one. When we multiplied out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Notice there were 6 terms. 2 terms times 3 terms equals 6 terms. It won't help you it won't tell you whether you got the terms right, but it'll certainly tell you how many terms to expect. So let's look down here. This next one, 3 terms, trinomial. Watch me try to spell terms. Again, this is not an English class, so I feel no need to be using proper spelling or even grammar. Seriously, those English teachers need to stop slacking off and expecting math to teach you guys. So this is an English-free broadcast. 3 terms times 3 terms is going to be 9 terms. So this is definitely a case where you want to take lots of space, take lots of time. Expect that you will probably make a mistake, especially if you haven't done a lot of this. So just take your time. I tend to like to write on blank paper, but if you like grid paper or lined paper and that helps you, definitely use that. Try colors, try highlighters. Highlighters are always good. All the things. So here we go. You guys ready? I'm going to break up the first trinomial. So I'm going to get my 5x cubed, and then the whole second trinomial, minus 2x squared plus 3x plus 6. Okay, second term of the first one, plus x, times the whole second one, 2x squared plus 3x plus 6, minus 4. I was almost a wiki there. Minus 4 is the last term of the first trinomial times the whole second trinomial. Again, watch me smear. second trinomial gets repeated all the times. I think I forgot an ending parenthesis. Sorry about that. Okay. So now that we have broken down the initial trinomial into its little parts, now we let them go visiting or use the distributive property. So, okay, we can do this. I have faith in you. You guys are brilliant and smart and all those wonderful things. And definitely you're all above average because you're my students, which makes you amazing. 5x cubed times negative 2x squared. Remember, whenever I encounter a negative, I tend to keep it safe in parentheses. Plus 5x cubed times 3x plus 5x cubed times 6. Ooh, that cube is looking a little sad. Okay, so these first three terms are just from the first one. Plus x times negative 2x squared. Plus x times 3x plus x times 6. Okay. Second three terms, minus 4 times negative 2x squared. Minus 4 times 3x minus 4 times 6. I fit them all in. I know I had to get really small there, but that was pretty amazing. So now that you see what's going on, you can see how absolutely easy it would be to make one little tiny mistake and have the whole thing just can be very frustrating. So be gentle with yourselves on this one. Do your best, show lots of work. Okay, I think I got negative 10x to the 5th plus this next one, 15x to the 4th plus 30x cubed. Okay, minus 2x cubed plus 3x squared plus 6x. So basically this middle term, I should have just upped the x's by 1 because I'm multiplying by x. So negative 2x squared, negative 2x cubed, 3x, 3x squared, 6, 6x. So this is a lot of accounting. Okay, now I'm going to multiply by a negative, which means that not only are the numbers going to change, the signs are going to change. Negative 4 times negative 2x squared is going to be a positive 8x squared. Negative 4 times positive 3x is a negative 12x. Negative 4 times positive 6 is a negative 24. Oh my gosh, we finished that line. And how many terms are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 terms. So I got all of them. They're all accounted for. And honestly, I have a certain setup to make this video, but this is the kind of problem that maybe you want to turn your paper sideways and get the full hot dog, bathtub, hamburger situation, shower. I can't remember what it's called when it's long, but the hot dog, shower, bathtub situation. Okay. Now, this is exciting. As I look, if when you write these trinomials out, if you write them and see how they're each in descending order, and you split up the first one, your answer will more or less be descending order. Not perfectly, right? We had this one up above. Oh, I'm pointing to something you can't see. These are both in descending order, but we ended up with some shenanigans here with p's the 4 and p cubes. It got a little complicated. But sometimes it does work out beautifully, and we can just be grateful. I've got a negative 10x to the 5th plus 15x to the 4th. Now these two come together, plus 28x cubed. Let's see, up here, I got my squareds are not quite together. 3x squared plus 8x squared is 11x squared. I've got a 6x and a minus 12x, so negative 6x and minus 24. Now, after you combine like terms, of course, you will no longer have 9 terms, because when you combine like terms, you reduce the number of terms. But that's it. I think that's correct. If it's not, as I said, send a very angry letter to the White House. I'm sure they'll get back to me. And we've done it. That was the first part of multiplying polynomials. Come back, same bat time, same bat channel, and we will learn the F word. Woo!